It was extremely interesting yesterday watching the embargo lift on the Sony ZV-1 vlogging camera. Sony definitely stirred some feelings in the video community because the opinions on this pint-sized powerhouse run the gamut. Let's see. We've got a perfect camera from iJustine, also perfect camera from iPhonedo, class-leading performance in an unexpected area from Gerald Undone, almost perfect from Potato Jet, another almost perfect from Dunna Did It, not the ultimate vlogging camera, but pretty much the ultimate everything else video camera from Tyler Stallman, and then we have some less positive reviews, fails at the one thing it sets out to do from Jared Pollan, and Sony has become the new canon from Camera Conspiracies. Watching all these videos, I've absorbed the following points about this camera. First, we collectively need a better term for a microphone wind muff than dead cat, because no one likes to say that name. Everyone was uncomfortable with it. Battery life on the camera is trash unless you USB power it, and yes, it will run off of power banks. The wide angle of the lens, 24mm, isn't wide enough, and there are no filter threads, so you can't use a wide angle adapter. The tally light on the front is simultaneously idiotic and a lifesaver. The image quality out of the 1-inch sensor is much better than anyone expected. The digital stabilization is excellent, but the crop that it introduces isn't. And where is the IBIS? The number of features you get for the price blows every other hybrid camera out of the water, and it even threatens some low-end mirrorless cameras. If you're currently doing YouTube, Instagram, live streaming, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, with a phone or a webcam, this is the only camera you need for an upgrade. And, does one other thing. Oh yeah, you can vlog on it once in a while. So watching folks tear into this new camera had me thinking about my new, to me, B camera, the Panasonic LX-100. Which occupies a similar space in the market, although it's been displaced now by 6 years. That actually kind of makes a comparison a little more interesting. How does a 6-year-old camera compare to the brand new ZV-1? To be completely honest though, the ZV-1 has a bunch of quality of life features in it that are excellent. I'm not trying to position this camera as better than the ZV-1 because it is not. But it is closer than I first thought. The ZV-1 has a 24-70 equivalent lens with a 1.8 to 2.8 aperture range. That's actually a lower performer than the LX-100, which has an excellent 24-75mm lens with an aperture range of 1.7 to 2.8, and it stays at the wider aperture through a longer portion of the zoom range than the Sony. So, how does this perform in the real world? Well, as I mentioned, ZV-1 has a number of quality of life features that are really great, such as a built-in variable ND filter, which the LX-100 does not have. I actually don't own any ND filters for this camera at the moment because they're still in transit, so I literally can't use the widest aperture settings on this camera in the middle of the day. Big point to Sony. Also, the flippy screen. The ZV-1 gives us Sony's interpretation of the flippy screen we've been asking for like, what, 10 years now? Finally! My LX-100, it doesn't. The screen on it doesn't move at all. Point to Sony. Well, let's get to that real-world test of the LX-100 and see how good I can make its footage look. Reviews of the ZV-1 have praised its significantly tweaked out-of-the-box picture settings versus other Sony cameras, noting that color, contrast, sharpness, and dynamic range are all quite good without needing any immediate tweaking. Now, I can't say the same for my LX-100. Out of the box, it's cool, too contrasty, and extremely over-sharpened, so another point to Sony. The ZV-1 also has the full complement of picture profiles we've come to expect from Sony Pro and prosumer cameras, including surprise editions like S-Log3 and HLG 2020. The LX-100, on the other hand, in a bid to not cannibalize sales of the GH4 that it's based on, forgoes picture profiles completely and doesn't allow shooting in any kind of log gamma. It does allow image setting tweaking, and turning down the sharpening and the contrast and some of the saturation does allow the video output to look a bit more professional. I think this Sony puts up a really decent fight, although output from the little Panasonic is not bad, especially considering that this camera is 6 years old and I am not the first owner of it. Reviews of the ZV-1 have criticized it for its unknown durability, owing to its more plasticky feel versus the RX-100 that it's based on. Alright, let's wrap this up with a whirlwind tour of creature comforts. Like I said previously, the LX-100 was pretty heavily crippled by Panasonic in an effort to keep the affordable point-and-shoot away from the GH4's market share, and this is where that corner cutting shows. Here are the main things, not mentioned previously, that the ZV-1 has the LX-100 does not. Tally light? No. Mic jack? No. Digital image stabilization or IBIS? Nope. Mode dial? No. Easy access record button? No. Removed record limit? No. USB power? No. Clean HDMI output? No. Slow motion? Nope. Instant background defocus button? No. So is the LX-100 better than the ZV-1? Of course not at all. It only gives it a run for its money in the image quality department, and even then, the automatic modes, the quality of life additions, and the depth to which you can tweak the ZV-1's output redefine the class of the hybrid camera. I think the ZV-1 is going to be a really popular camera. It's okay, little Panasonic. You'll get your turn. That's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and or subscribe, or don't, that's your prerogative. I will see you in the next one.